Welcome back to the Data Protection Diaries. Welcome back to the blog. It's been a very, very long time. If you've been hanging around, I appreciate you hanging around waiting for a new video to come out. I also appreciate any of you who are new to the channel. If you are new to the channel, this is the Data Protection Diaries. It's essentially a channel where we talk about data protection related activities, business processes, anything really relating to GDPR and the surrounding laws. My name is Richard Marigold. I'm the director and co-founder of a data protection and security consultancy called iStorm, and we specialise in providing advice and guidance to organisations. And I just like talking about data protection, so if that's what you're here for, then you're in the right place. If you're new to the channel, please do make sure that you subscribe, like this video if you find the content useful, drop some comments down below. And if you're not new to the channel, thank you for your patience while we were waiting to come back and film some videos. Things have been very, very busy and time has got in the way, but I'm excited to be back and hopefully got something useful and interesting for you today. So in today's video, we want to talk about something that has been dubbed as the mother of all data breaches. Now, this was reported Monday of this week, so we're currently on Wednesday, and it was reported by Cyber News that a huge file of breached passwords, usernames and email addresses has been found on an open file set on the internet. Now, this relates to an estimated 26 billion records. What's important to point out here is that we're not talking about 26 billion new records. So a lot of this stuff is potentially data collected from other breaches and pulled together in a single source of information. Now, Cyber News has estimated that previously from all breaches, there was somewhere in the region of 13 or 18 billion records. This file contains 26 billion, so there is very likely to be some new records in there, some new information in there. We're talking breaches from Twitter, LinkedIn, lots of other social media sites and lots of other sources. There's a huge swathe of information that can be freely and easily searched. Nobody is charging anybody to do this. It's just out there and freely and easily accessible. So the first question to answer, of course, is why does that even matter? Well, for many people, and probably for the majority of people that are online, their information will be involved in this breach. There will be a username, there will be a password, there's potentially going to be an email address contained somewhere within one of these data dumps. What that means is that obviously the accounts associated with that information are going to be at risk. And they're going to be at risk from somebody trying to access those accounts, somebody trying to gain information from those accounts, somebody trying to log in. I have done a previous video on an Instagram and Facebook account and a couple other accounts that were hacked. And we managed to trace that back to a breach that happened about 5 or 6 years ago. The passwords were the same across all of the accounts. Now, the issue there in particular was it was the same email address and password across all accounts. So the individual or the actors, the threat actors managed to gain access not only to those accounts, but also to the email account, which meant that they could reset passwords, change passwords, and delete those notification emails. So what's really important with this breach is that you are looking at your passwords. You're looking at whether you have the password matching or you have the same password across lots of different accounts. And if you do, the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you're going and changing those passwords up. Have different passwords for different accounts. Certainly don't have the same password for your email as you do have for your social media account. Now, you might be saying to me, Richard, why does this matter to me? It's of no interest, it's of no consequence. Nobody's ever going to come and access my information. I've had the same password, the same username for years. And I agree. There is a good chance that none of this information will get used or that you as an individual will not be attacked. But there is also a chance that you will be. It can take years for people to work their way through these data files. You know, we are talking about billions of records. You can't just whack this in an Excel spreadsheet, do some filtering and find matching email addresses put usernames and passwords together and just get going. It's going to take time. People are going to have to work through these files. They're going to have to understand them. They're going to have to do trial and error, see what works, what doesn't. Once those usernames and passwords are identified as working, they will then get batched up and sold on. So it may be years before you'd even notice or somebody even tried to access your account. The best thing that you can do at this stage is have a look to see if your information was involved in the breach, and then you can take steps to decide what you want to do. So the first thing you can do is have a look at haveibeenowned.com. Now, I've talked about this on the channel before, and I will put the link in the description down below. Go onto the website, put your email address in, and it will tell you whether or not your email address has been involved in a breach. It is completely free. We have nothing to do with it. We are not affiliated with them in any way. It is a free service. If you find that your email address has been identified in a breach, I would suggest that you go and change your passwords. The other thing that you can do is, if you are an iPhone user, and I would imagine this works on Android, but personally I have an iPhone, if you go into settings, go down to passwords and go into your password which is saved on your device, you will get a security notification from Apple that will also tell you whether or not your email address or your passwords have been involved in a data breach, and you can reset those through your phone. Obviously it will take you to the website to reset the password, so it may take you some time. Personally, I had a look the other day and I have like 150, 160 accounts, something like that. So it is going to take time. My advice is that you start with the most critical systems, so things like your banking, anything to do with your electricity, gas bills, credit reference agencies, anything that can have a direct impact on your kind of your life or your financial circumstance. Go and change those passwords first, but also don't forget about your social media accounts, because as in my previous video, it's very, very hard to gain access back into your social media accounts if they do get lost or somebody does breach them. The final thing that you can do, and probably the most important thing that you can do, once you have changed your passwords, or even if you decide that you don't want to change your passwords for whatever reason, log on to your accounts, log on to your social medias, your bank accounts, all those things, and where humanly possible, turn on 2FA. So 2FA is two-factor authentication. That's when you go to log into an account, you get a text message saying, do you want to log into this account? If at all possible, have that 2FA set up to come to your mobile so that you get a text message rather than having it going to your email. Now, the reason that I say this is because if you do happen to have the email account matching the password for one of your social media accounts, and that gets hacked, and they get into your email, they're just going to delete that 2FA request anyway. So where possible, have it sent to a mobile device. You will usually only be asked to do 2FA if you're logging on for the first time, or if you've not logged on for a long time, or you're logging on from a new device, and that's what tends to stop people from being able to get in. So it may feel like an annoyance, but it's not going to be every single time, and it is going to help protect your account as well. Obviously, like, it does feel a bit doom and gloom. It is a huge data breach. It is not the first time this has happened, but there are some simple, easy steps that you can do to secure your accounts and keep things safe online. If you found this video useful, if you found this content interesting, please do make sure that you subscribe. I am going to put some time in to try and make sure we do some more content. Please like this video, drop your comments down below, and we look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thanks very much.